When India crashed out of the T20 World Cup semi-finals in 2022 after a humiliating 10-wicket loss to England, there was an acceptance within cricketing circles in the country that something really needed to change very, very soon. And it was, believe it or not, something the BCCI team management at that point in time actually agreed with, because you saw these three players on your screen, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, pretty much dropped from the T20I scheme of things for over a year. You had a new captain in Hardik Pandya, although it is worth noting that there was never any official confirmation that the captaincy had changed hands from Rohit to Hardik. Yet Hardik in many interviews referred to the team as my team. We want to be playing a certain way, which made it very clear that he was told that, look, this is your team and it's up to you now to mold it as you see fit. And as he saw fit included not having these three players in the playing 11. We here at Sports Today also talked about how it is that having three batters who play like anchors in the T20I format severely hampered India's chances in the T20 World Cup, and that's exactly what happened. However, there is now talk that not one, not two, but all three of them will be making a comeback for the T20 World Cup in 2024. How exactly is that going to be the case? Well, that's what we're here to tell you in this particular video. And let's start with the man who was leading the side in 2022, Rohit Sharma. Now, Rohit Sharma hasn't played a T20I since that game against England. In fact, neither have the others, but he could very well be set for a comeback in the South Africa tour. That is, of course, if the BCCI have their way, because they want him to lead the side in the T20I series that will be taking place in South Africa. Now, admittedly, one of the key reasons for them doing this is because there is no certainty yet as to when exactly Hardik Pandya can make an international comeback. He is potentially set to miss even the T20Is against Afghanistan, which would mean that he'd only make an international comeback come the T20 World Cup, and he'd only make a competitive cricket return in the IPL, which is not being seen as ideal by the board, which is why they have now gone back to Rohit Sharma. And it is worth noting that Rohit Sharma, not only was his leadership lauded during the ODI World Cup, but also his batting, where he was looking to play with a more aggressive, dare I say, T20I mindset. However, if Rohit chooses to not take up this offer, then the team management will have no choice but to stick with the man who's leading the team right now, and that is Surya Kumar Yadav, and then hope for the best once Pandya is back and ready to lead the side. That is why they've gone back to Rohit Sharma. But I hear you ask, what about Virat Kohli and KL Rahul? Well, suddenly it seems like the team management is having a little bit of a change of heart when it comes to both of them as well, for very different reasons. For one, the door is not shut on Kohli for T20Is, because as we've mentioned many other times before, of the three, of KL, of Rohit, of Virat, it was Virat in fact who probably had the smallest case of being dropped, because despite the fact that he probably isn't best suited to T20Is, his numbers in T20Is are still pretty decent. That being said, that comeback is not going to be happening in South Africa. And why do I say that? It's because he has already asked for rest in the South Africa white ball leg, which means he's not going to be playing either the ODIs or the T20Is. Tests, you will see him there, but he's asked for an extended break and therefore is going to be missing out. So if his T20I comeback is to happen, it's not going to be against South Africa, and it most likely will not be against Afghanistan either, but it will be basis the IPL of 2024, which, to be fair, is something that many people expected, given that the 2024 edition of the IPL is taking place just before the T20 World Cup. So a good IPL may just end up seeing a few changes made to the team. You'll see that pendulum swing, and that applies to a Virat Kohli as well. That's how Kohli can still be recalled to the T20 team. Now moving on to KL Rahul. Now, KL Rahul right now could also make a T20I return, not just potentially as a player, but maybe even someone who's close to a leadership role, given that he has captained India in the past. But a lot of that is dependent on two things. One, his form in the IPL. Like Kohli, his form too is going to be monitored significantly, and if he has a good enough IPL, then he could very well be in line for a comeback to the Indian T20I team. But it's not just his form with the bat, but also whether or not he takes the gloves, the wicket-keeping gloves that is, in the IPL. Now, you remember that generally speaking, whilst KL has been something of a part-time keeper for India in the ODI format, He's generally not kept wickets in T20Is since the 2021 T20 World Cup. So obviously since then he's not kept wickets in the shortest format, but should he choose to do so for the Lucknow Super Giants, which is the IPL franchise he captains, then he may very well be considered for the Indian team as a wicketkeeper bat and not just a pure batter, which would mean then KL would be the first choice wicketkeeper bat and they could accommodate him into the playing 11 seamlessly, with Ishan Kishan once again being his understudy. So again, pretty interesting when you look at how it is that these things are going about, and suddenly out of nowhere you're hearing that not just one, not two, but all three of these players could potentially make a comeback. KL if he keeps wickets and has a good IPL, Kohli if he has a good IPL, and Rohit Sharma if he accepts the offer to lead the team for the T20I series in South Africa and therefore will be given back that role for the T20 World Cup as well. It's definitely an interesting turn of events, but is it the right turn of events? If you ask me personally, I think the Indian team have done the right thing by starting afresh in T20Is, looking to bring in a new leader, a new set of core players, and not go back to the same concept of having three undoubtedly star players, but also three who play a similar style, a similar template. Three anchors at the top of the order was hampering you significantly in 2022, and basis what I've seen in 2023, there's not much to change my opinion that will actually still be the case if they end up making a comeback in the T20I circuit. Not the best of decisions, but maybe the BCCI feels that their hand has been forced due to Hardik Pandya's injury, which is why they have to go back to Rohit the leader instead of relying on Suryakumar Yadav, who is the vice captain but nowhere near being a full-time captain in that particular format. So definitely very interesting, and what's even more interesting is that they don't feel like they have a good enough wicketkeeper bat option that they can bring back a KL Rahul, or feel that they can bring back a KL Rahul if he keeps wickets for LSG. I tell you, it will be a very interesting IPL and a very interesting few months in the build up to the T20 World Cup, and you know where it is. You can find all of those updates. It's right here on Sports Today, but if you have to do that, you'll need to subscribe to our channel, and if you enjoy our work and this video in general, please don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, subscribe and tap the bell icon if you haven't already. You can leave us a comment as well. Tell us your views on what you think would be, it is a positive, is it a negative that India are looking at bringing back these three senior players. Also go ahead and follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTech app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done, and stay tuned, we've got plenty more coming your way. For now though, from my side, it's goodbye.